Hello everyone, Pyro Burke here again. Welcome to the third video in my series about how to convert an old air-cooled Volkswagen from points to electronic ignition. In the previous video, we showed how to install the Pertronix flamethrower distributor and how to set the alignment just good enough to get the engine started. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set the timing more accurately. Now, since the flamethrower is a centrifugal advance distributor, similar to the Bosch 009, we're going to actually set the timing at maximum advance instead of at idle like you would with the factory vacuum advance distributor. So there's a couple ways to do this. I'm going to show you the way that I think is probably the easiest. So the first thing we're going to do is make a new timing mark in our crankshaft pulley that's at 30 degrees before top dead center, which is the recommended timing for this type of distributor for most applications. So then we're going to put the timing light on it and rev the engine up until it stops advancing, which is usually around 3,000 RPM. And then we can use that to set our timing to the new timing mark. So, all right, let's get started. All right, time for math class. Now, I promise this won't be too bad. I'm a nice math teacher, and you're all going to pass. And I'm even going to skip ahead and give you the answer right at the beginning. So if you want to skip out on the rest of class, you certainly can. Anyway, we're looking at trying to figure out where to make the timing mark. And VW had two different pulleys. Well, they had more than two, but they are two that you'll probably see a lot. We're working on the 7-inch diameter pulley, or 178 millimeter for the metric guys. And we want to make our mark at 30 degrees. So the mark needs to be 1.83 inches, or rounding it to the nearest 16th, 1 13/16. Or again, for the metric, right here, 46.6 millimeters. Okay, so that's all you need to know. For those of you who are interested in the math, we'll do that next. If you're not, go ahead and skip ahead. I'm going to show you how to calculate that so that you can do it for any size pulley and any number of degrees. All right, so this is a sketch of the VW crankshaft pulley. Not a real great one, but anyway, so at the top here we have 0 degrees, which represents top dead center. And of course we've got 90, 180, 270 degrees, and then back to 0, which would also be 360 degrees. 360 degrees is all the way around a circle. So we want to make our timing mark at 30 degrees. It needs to be this D distance far away from the top dead center. So how do we know what this D distance is to make that mark? So again, distance is the what we're looking for. What we need to find that is the pulley diameter, P sub D, which in this case is 7 inches or 178 millimeters. We need the desired timing degrees. We're calling that T sub D, which in our case is 30 degrees. And then we have the mathematical constant pi, 3.14. So the formula for figuring out what this distance is the pulley diameter times pi times the degrees you're looking for, all divided by 360 degrees, which is again all the way around the circle. So in our case, that's 7 times pi, 3.14, times 30 divided by 360, which comes out to 1.83 inches, just like we showed you in the previous table, or 46.5 millimeters. All right, now we're going to show how to mark the pulley. First, you need to move the pulley around with a 30 millimeter wrench until the dimple here is fairly close to top dead center. It really doesn't have to be exactly because we're just trying to use it to make the mark. So get it close. Then we take our piece of tape that we made earlier with the line on it, and you want to be really careful to line up this left edge of the tape with the center of this dimple as close as you can get it. And then stick the piece of tape down onto the pulley. So since the crankshaft pulley rotates clockwise, the marks before top dead center are going to be to the right of this mark. So now that we have this mark taped on there, you can see where the existing mark is at about 4 degrees. We're just going to take a Dremel tool with a cutting wheel on it, and we're going to actually make a small cut into this back side of the pulley, just like the factory 4-degree timing mark is. Okay, can pull off the tape now. You can see we have a nice little mark. Rotate that around so you can see it. And we will take a little bit of white paint to fill in the mark to make it easier to see with the timing light on. And there we go. That's our new timing mark for our centrifugal advanced distributor. So before we start the engine, let me just show you what I'm using here. I have my favorite timing light, old Craftsman inductive light. The lead is connected to the #1 spark plug wire back there. And powering the light, I have the positive on the positive side coil terminal, and the negative is just on the ground bracket for the coil. So yeah, that's my setup. All right, let's start it up and get the timing set.